Welcome to Rip It Up, the Renovations podcast.
In between full episodes, we are going to be fielding listener questions about their renovation. So if you've got a burning question, send us a voice note at Rip It Up Podcast Official on Instagram, or send us an email at ripitupearlybird@gmail.com.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Well, welcome back to the podcast mini episode.
Mini episode. Bonus! Keep us ticking over every week.
We mentioned in our last episode that we're going to trial listener questions because we usually have an episode out every second week, and we're going to do this now every other week so you can hear our beautiful voices every week.
Yeah.
And we got listener questions, which is great fun. So anyone who's inspired by this one, please send us more, because these are fun to answer.
Okay, so will we play the listener question and then we'll answer it?
Play the listener question. Here we go.
Okay.
Hey girls, love the show. I think it's amazing and it's so informative. Anyway, I have a very specific question that you may be able to help me out with. I don't think Kate will, because I think she's anti them, but I'm struggling to find a nice place to buy bedside lockers. Now, I know they're not for everyone, bedside lockers, but I would love some advice. Any tips would be great. Thank you. Love the show.
Okay, great question.
I'm not sure I dislike bedside drawers, but anyway, we'll answer it to what we like and hopefully we'll give some inspiration.
I actually do think as well that we have very similar stances on this one, because it's not that I dislike them either, but because normally the rooms I'm working with are very small, and people, like, bedside lockers are an unnecessary amount of space if you ask me, because what are you putting in them? Like, you just don't need that much.
What are you putting in them is exactly my thing. Like, you just collect shite when you have bedside lockers. Now, I'm not against them, and I have them in the guest room because I think I like to have a few bits in one of the drawers for when guests come. Do you know if they're stuffed with stuff? I have some stuff in the drawers. But like, yeah, I think when you have them beside, the bigger one you have, the more shit you put beside your bed.
And it's such
so
a dumping ground, because like nothing lives there. Like, I'm all for storage being planned and like a place for everything in its place, but nothing belongs in your bedside locker except for like maybe your phone charger, a book, glass of water. That's it for me, like.
Exactly. I have a little tiny canvas bag that I have like a lip balm and a little sleep spray and some earplugs if something's happening, like my neighbour's having a party or something like that. But I have that beside my bed, but it's only a tiny little drawstring bag, and like, do you ever wake up or, I don't know, your lips are really sore or whatever, like dry, like it's just nice to have it right there.
Yeah, Elizabeth Arden,
digging around for it.
What is it, the 48-hour magic?
The 8 hour,
on the lips every night before you go to bed, and yourself speak
like a little spa for your lips. Anyway, let's go through our favourites. Do you want to go first and talk about where you've kind of gotten yours and what you like?
So the ones that I got, they're not actually bedside lockers. It was two tiny little coffee tables from April and the Bear. They don't stock them anymore, unfortunately, but they have a round top, then they have a curved underneath, almost like a magazine rack or newspaper rack, and then just one kind of stabilizing leg down the side. They're metal, very, very, very slim profile, and they're super easy to keep clean, and they just look really slick. So I love them. Delighted with them.
Love a little side table like that. Anywhere else that you've kind of gotten them or picked them for people? Or
anything else that I like are just installing shelves instead of actual bedside lockers. My two preferences are either installing shelves, or my number one, especially for like a really small house and a really small bedroom, because again, they just take up unnecessary floor space, and like, why not have a bigger bed? Why not have a king size bed? Is those headboards, if you have the length, that have the shelves built into them. Either nice minimal kind of shelves along the side of the bed, or even better if it's a small room, behind the bed, so that, you know, the headboard comes out a little bit, it's taking a little bit of depth behind the bed, but you have lots of space in there, lots of shelves in there, and I think it all just keeps everything looking really, really neat and slick.
Yeah. Now, I don't have bedside lockers, but they are built into my bed frame, so I have a Moebe bed frame. It's kind of like a powder coated steel bed frame.
Yeah, I love it.
It's kind of creamy or off-white.
Profile, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty minimal, like, so it's kind of low to the ground. It looks like the mattress is more or less just floating. You don't really see the frame underneath because the legs are kind of set back, we'll say, from the edge. And then there's two kind of winged, small, semicircular side tables right at the top. And it's big enough, like it's, I don't know, maybe a 30 centimetre semicircle or something. Yeah. And it's just fits, like, you know, my bottle of water, my phone. And it's because it's metal, I have those little, you know, when your charger cable, like, it's dangling somewhere and you're like, you know, reaching around for it. Yeah. You can get these little clip-on things. They clip onto the cable, and they have a little magnet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you can either stick the magnet to your standard bedside locker, because my one is steel, it just sticks to the side of it, so it's always there. So I'm never kind of looking for it, and it keeps your cables kind of tidy. So that's a nice option. That's what I have my own.
Glue on a Lego brick, and then if you stick a Lego man or woman onto the Lego brick, their hand that comes out is the perfect size for holding a phone cable. I love it.
That's very cute. That's very cute. But again, unnecessary stuff beside your bed.
A lot of clutter.
Joke. No, but I have had bedside lockers in my last house when it was a much bigger, kind of more square room. I had bedside lockers. I think it's hard to beat Homesense for bedside lockers on a good day.
Yeah.
I think they're such good value. They're always at the 70 to 90 euros mark. They look almost identical to West Elm ones. I think it's great. They're
West
great value.
Elm, I will come out and
quality.
say, is like the go-to, I think, for these bedside lockers. But you're looking at hundreds, and then you have to order them in, because they're coming from abroad.
So definitely chance Homesense, maybe a few times, maybe midweek when it's a bit quieter and there's more stock out. I think you can get really lucky with bedside lockers, bedside tables, side tables and stuff in general. I think the Spanish website Kave they have some lovely options as well. And to your point about wall mounted, they've kind of wall mounted drawers, which I think are very cool. Now you can get wall mounted kind of small ledge shelves and small drawers on Amazon too. You have to be a bit careful with the quality. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Just like go for the more expensive one and they'll still be cheap, but like they will be worth the extra money. Some of the really cheap ones look really cheap.
So these are they're
those.
like just shelves that have a small drawer underneath it. Yeah. So it looks really, really slick. They're floating. So, you know, they're not taking up any floor footprint.
I think those lovely little ledges and small drawers are the perfect amount of space. Yeah. And then some of them even have a hole in the back for your cable to come through and stuff like that. Some of them have charging pads built into them if you want to go all out and do all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Like you could, I suppose the list is endless. I think IKEA actually have one of those wall-mounted ones
do
as
have
well
them,
now.
but I don't like the look of it that much. It looks a bit cheap. But if you're open to a bit of work and you're open to maybe painting or like covering it with a vinyl wrapper or something like that, then you could do that. Zara Home have nice ones at the moment, like a really
lovely
dark
ones.
wood. I think it's rubber wood it's called or something like that.
It's kind of like some of them are mango wood or acacia wood as well. That's
lovely
very
finish
popular
on
in them.
Looks great.
I think so Kave, however you say it. Yeah. West Elm, like you said, is the kind of gold standard for me. Homesense, for a good bargain, but you know you might need to go a few times to find good ones and to find two. Sometimes they might have two of everything, which is a bit of a pain. Floating ones on Amazon. H&M Home as well can do some really good picture ledge kind of small shelf ones if you want to just do a ledge one. Yeah. And actually in my guest bedroom at the moment I do have bedside tables. So I got rid of those West Elm ones because they were just too big for the house I'm in now. Or not West Elm, but the Homesense ones that look like West Elm. And then I bought two IKEA Tonstad. So Tonstad. Slightly more expensive than their other ranges, so it's kind of a wood veneer rather than just a laminate. Yeah. And it's a dark kind of smoked oak, really kind of simple, minimal. It's probably about 35 or 40 centimetres square, lovely kind of slim profile shelf underneath, small drawer. Very open and it doesn't take up a lot of space in the room. So I really like that Tonstad range in general, I think. That would be my kind of few that I've bought places.
For those headboards, for the kind of deeper headboards that have the shelving built in almost behind the bed, IKEA do have a good one, the Brimnes one, I think it's called. Yes. It's the white veneer IKEA one, so it doesn't look incredible, but if it's going to be pretty hidden, it's behind your bed. If you're going to be covering it with cushions and pillows anyway, and you're not going to see it much, then it's perfect. And then again, Kave or Cave or whatever it might be, Home, they have a few nice ones as well. They're a bit more expensive, a few £100, but you're spending that for a nice headboard anyway. And they're wood and they have a nice finish on them, so they'd be my two go-tos for those places.
There are some other options on, obviously Yusk have some cheap and cheerful kind of beechwood options, that are kind of, you can stain to match maybe. Yeah. Do you know, have the spindly kind of mid-century style legs, but they're just bare wood. Yeah. You kind of do need to stain those though, because they stain really bad. Otherwise, if you put water, or coffee or anything down it. So I think those are a good option. And Wayfair as well. Now there's literally thousands of options to go through, and you can be very hit and miss. So definitely read the reviews and stuff, but they have a massive selection. So you probably could find something to fit there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Worth a look, I suppose, but just like buyer beware on that, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good
yeah.
if you can.
When a website has that much stuff, there's going to be some crap and there's going to be some good stuff. So definitely read the reviews. And I think wherever possible, if you're buying a wood or a wood effect, like try and see if it's a veneer rather than just a laminate, because the fake kind of plasticky laminates tend to look cheap and fake when they come as well.
Yeah.
And especially the little picture ledges, because I've bought a few different ones of these over the years. The small picture ledges, if they're laminate, they just look like a kind of a browny colour, but they're not real wood.
Yeah.
But you can get solid wood picture ledge kind of shelves for pretty cheap as well.
Floating shelves.
And then you can paint them if they're solid wood easily. You can stain them, whatever. You know, they're much more kind of adaptable to different spaces.
Yeah.
So I love floating in a bedroom. It just keeps the floor space clean. You can have a small little rattan basket if you really need some overflow stuff that you want in there. But like, other than that, I'd say Homesense, Kave, West Elm, they'd be my kind of go-tos.
Agreed. I think, and Zara Home as well have the odd nice one. And I think as well, it's very like, I like going to bed in a very serene environment. I just don't like the clutter around me. I just want my book, I want to charge my phone, and then I want my glass of water and my Elizabeth Arden 48-hour lip balm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Agreed.
Short and sweet.
Well,
we'll put
short and sweet,
we'll put that list in the show notes.
Absolutely. Hopefully you get some nuggets there for some
Thanks for your
shopping
question. And send us in, if anybody wants to send us in more questions, we'll put the links in the show notes, but you can send us a voice note on Instagram at ripitup_podcast_official, is that right? And then you can also email us at ripitupearlybirds@gmail.com. You can just email us, record a voice note and just email it to us. Any question, comments? You think we'd be sick of compliments, but we're not, so feel free to send us in as well. We're over it.
See you next week for the full episode. Bye.
Bye.